It's a beautiful rainy day here in San Francisco, and whenever it rains like this, it always reminds me of one of my most favorite cities in the world, which is Paris. And there's this incredible beauty that both cities share in the rain. And so I was thinking all day about Paris, and I got this wonderful memory of this wonderful little restaurant I went to several times in the Place de Vosges. And in this restaurant, which was called Nectarine, there was a wonderful waitress who waited on me several times. And we got to know each other a little bit. And towards the end of the visit, I decided that Paris had been so wonderful. I decided I just had to tell somebody how great it had been, how wonderful the people had been to me. And I wanted to thank somebody. So I was sitting under the arches on the outdoor part of the restaurant, under the arches of the Place de Vosges, and having dinner, wonderful, wonderful French soup, French onion soup. And I called the waitress over and I said, look, there's something I want to say. And while I'm speaking, you're going to be Paris, the whole city, and I have something to say to you. And she was like, well, okay. So I took a deep breath and I looked at her and I said, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Paris, for being so incredibly warm, so incredibly welcoming, so incredibly beautiful. I want to thank you so much. I've had a wonderful time. And she looked at me and she smiled and she said, are you American or are you British? And I said, I'm American. She said, I thought so. The British are so rude. This is Lionel Smith from Sense Memory. And tonight we're having a beautiful cocktail that is called a Brandy Alexander. It's 2 ounces of brandy, 1 ounce of creme de cacao, pure whipping cream, and a dash of nutmeg on the top. And there's a reason we're having this chocolate flavored drink. And I'll share that with you in a moment. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Cheers. As I mentioned in the opening, tonight's theme is chocolate or cacao. And the fragrance I've chosen to explore with you tonight is one of my favorites and one I've had for a couple of years. And it's one that is very popular in another form throughout the fragrance community. But I'm going to be reviewing L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme, which is the original and not the very famous one that is which is the extreme. This is the original, and it was created in 2004. It's a woody spicy, and the nose behind it is Beatrice Piquet. She's known for Dior Star, for Instinct for Men by David Beckham, and for of course, for L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme Eau Extreme. Really, I don't want to call it perfume because it's an eau de toilette, but it really is a very, very interesting fragrance, and one of my very first Guerlains that I acquired, and I just really, really love this. I understand the excitement behind the Eau Extreme, but to me, the original is far superior, and that's because it has a subtlety that I find much more sophisticated and appealing. The notes in the fragrance are, the top notes are anise, jasmine, grapefruit, bergamot, and lemon. The mid notes are patchouli, lavender, tea, sandalwood, cedar, and cacao. And the bottom notes are musk, hibiscus seed, and a lemony resin. Now, for me, I really get in the opening the anise And it's interesting that there's jasmine. Jasmine in the opening is not common. Usually jasmine is in the mid notes. But I find it very interesting that this jasmine is in here. And it really adds a kind of sparkle with the anise and the grapefruit. That lemon and bergamot and grapefruity citrus beginning disappears quite quickly, and then up comes the patchouli and the cacao. The tea notes and the sandalwood are a little. The tea is hardly noticeable to me, but the sandalwood is creamy and mixes with that cacao and that patchouli, and this is where you get that wonderful chocolate, that chocolate accord that is so beautiful and this fragrance is so famous for. Now, in the dry down, of course you have the musk and the hibiscus seed and the anemone, but they are very subtle. They're probably just in there to kind of boost the fragrance along. It is perfect for, I would say, formal occasions and for when you want to wear something a little special. It really is a special and beautiful fragrance. I did wear it all day today, and I wore it to work, and people really loved it. You can wear it at work. You can wear it in a casual situation. You know I like to do that. I like to mix things up and throw the casual into the formal and the formal into the casual. But it really is a beautiful fragrance. So I put it on this morning at 6 a.m. and it's now 6:45 in the evening. So it's lasted beautifully. Right now it's a skin scent, but it's still going strong. I'm going to spray some more because I really do love it. Oh, there's that incredible opening. Golly. That opening is beautiful, but it doesn't disappoint. The opening fades out, and up comes that wonderful mid-range of the cacao and the lavender and the patchouli, and it just carries you through the whole day. Now, I want to read to you something. My first impression that I got from this, as a lot of you know from my written blog, fragrances often lead to a story. So I wanted to share with you this particular feeling I got from it and what it opened up in my mind. Late evening in the Café Camille Marais, Paris. The erudite waiters were all in blanched linen shirts, black wool pants, and crisp, spotless cotton aprons as they elegantly attended the thinning clientele. The noisy American tourists had left, and only a few neighborhood regulars lingered over coffee or a dying bottle of wine. As I sat there drinking in the night from the sidewalk table, I caught a whiff of something so utterly delicious, a euphoria of blending and slowly unfolding scents. It was chocolate, but not of this earth, for it was richer and deeper than the darkest cocoa bean could ever produce. Then I realized that it was something more like a bouquet of jasmine dipped in warm chocolate and sprinkled over with anise and lavender and a little slice of orange on the side. It was so impossibly rich and enticing and sensual. Then, sadly, it began to fade like a gypsy's dream until it was finally gone. Only then did I realize that the man who had just walked past my table toward the Place de Vosges was the source of that incredible scent. If only I could know what it was that he was wearing. Days later, as I sauntered past 68 Avenue des Champs-Élysées, I picked up the sillage of this siren-like fragrance. I turned to see the man from a few nights before on the Marais. He slipped into the doors of Guerlain. Without hesitation, I spun on my heel and followed him into the Place de Cent. Nowhere to be seen. He had again eluded me. As I turned, I caught in the smallest corner of my eye a glimpse of him. He stood at the counter talking to an impossibly chic saleswoman. In his well-manicured hand, he was holding a golden bottle up to the light. It glimmered, it winked in deepest gold, and he turned and smiled at me as if he knew what I was after. L'instant, he said, in less than a whisper. And this is the very bottle, that beautiful glimmering gold. This is Lionel Smith saying, remember, wear what you love and not what they say you should like. Until we talk again, I want to say cheers and vive la Paris.